At night, my father went to the spot to make a hiding place. It was a very small space for me, my mother, my father would have to lay. It was very shallow with a covering over us. There was the chicken crate, sand to disguise our covering, and sacks of bird feed. We had to stay there laying. We couldn't go out. The woman of the house would come every night to give us news. She would come, remove the covering, tell us the news, then cover us up again. We remained there all day. We would eat once a day potatoes. For the three of us, always the same, potatoes. You know a woman's period? What do you think we did during this time, my mother and I? We would take the sacks, you know. Yes, like you get potatoes in a sack from the store. We would take the sacks and cut them into strips and save them and wash them. We would leave them out overnight to dry. The woman would bring us cold water to wash them with. It was fine, no problem. We had no cotton or cloth to use, just these sacks which we had to save. Reuse the strips, lay them out, roll them up. We endured this for 8 months until we were free. Yes, flat. Sometimes I would ask my mother, I notice when the woman opens the door, you two are talking. What about? So my mother would etch it out on my arm to tell me the news. Yes, she would write the outline of the letters into my hand to tell me the news in Polish writing, of course, which I understood. Sometimes she would do it on my back, the same method. One day, the farm woman told us a friend had informed her that the Russians would soon be arriving. We said, really, we want to. She said, wait and see. There are still battles. The Nazis are still around. The farmer could see them about. My father said, wait, but we wanted to go out so badly. I was so sick and fed up with this hiding for 8.5 months, just staying there waiting. When we finally got out after the war, it was hard to walk again, such pain in our feet. I still have pain sometimes, and I have to soak them in hot water, and finally they feel better. It was so hard. We had to crawl because we had to. Fred said, please, may I have your address in Colorado? I gave it to him, not knowing why he wanted it. He didn't say why. Later, I got a letter in Polish. I read it, then I gave it to my father. He read it slowly. He thought about it carefully and decided we would go to New York City to visit my Uncle Morris. We agreed to meet Fred there in the summer, June. When I met him, he brought me a bouquet of roses. Beautiful. I thanked him, and my cousin removed all the paper and put them in a vase. We had a good visit. I asked about his parents being gone. He said sadly, I am all alone. I have no siblings. I got to know him more. I remember we had arrived on Tuesday and chatted. Again, on Wednesday we met and we went out and about. I told him, please come to Colorado so you can meet my mother. I would like to show you Colorado. He said, okay, in August. Fine, I said. So after our week vacation, my father and I returned home. My father told my mother, I am so happy, such a nice man. He can speak German well. We waited and kept our fingers crossed. Later, Fred came and we got engaged. Engaged and decided on November for the wedding. It was fast. His father died from starvation. There was no food, no medicine. His father died first in February. His body froze. They did not have proper clothing, as they had sold most of it, thinking the war would be a short one. The war went on and on. They thought it would just be temporary. It was very cold, and he died of starvation. Later, Fred's mom died 6 months later, on August the 13th. Yes, hunger. There was nothing to eat. It was hard. Fred told me stories of the camp, many people dying, the gassing. He had to clean up, do brickwork. One time it was freezing, yet Fred kept warm inside. The Nazis noticed and beat him 25 times. Broken knee, elbow. It was very bad. What I mean is, Fred had many layers of clothing to keep him warm. He stole the clothing of the deceased for warmth. They patted his back and felt it was too thick. They made him undress and punished him with a severe beating. Yes, 3 children, 9 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. I was so fearful many times. Sometimes I still feel I hear stories that Nazis are still hiding. They are around and we don't know it, so I'm very cautious. Yes, safe, but some people are still Nazis. They keep it quiet and we don't know. Please, no more.